So of course, we're all in advertising. We've heard this over and over again. We work in a very large industry that does work, but we've heard this from our client. This has been going on 100 years. Does advertising work? And so I went home and I screamed at my wife. I screamed at the walls. I screamed at myself. I thought he guy's a dick. He's just going to end up firing us. I've been through this before. And then I flopped down on my couch and I turned on my TV and I realized I had recorded all of my favorite shows and I skipped the commercials in the middle. I pay a little bit extra on certain services to have an ad-free experience. I'm a creative director of the largest agency in the Southwest, and no one within 500 miles of my couch has a more vested interest in caring about ads than me, because it's a great living. So the next day I walked into work, and ironically, a good friend of mine who's a jokester had sent me this as a joke. I opened up my email, I read it, I laughed, and then I threw up in my mouth a little bit. Because I realized, fuck, it's true. And everyone in this room, with the doors closed, even with clients involved, would say they do this. And I mean do this metaphorically, even beyond if it's not in a pre-roll setting like this. Because I was worse. I don't know about you guys, but skip the ad if it's going 5, 4, 3. I'm like literally clicking on it to see if it will move faster for some reason to get to the video I was trying to watch, not the ad in front of it. Or we record our favorite shows and skip. Or when the ads come on, we look away or we look at our phone. In fact, would it be fair to say that unfortunately in our environment, most of the time when an ad is presented to us, it might as well yell out intermission. That's actually our moment to break, not to lean in, to break away, because we're trying to wait for the thing we actually cared about, which that ad is actually paying for. This is a big problem when we all know it. In fact, Google estimates $65 billion a year is wasted on digital advertising. That's Google. That's half of what Google made actually last year on digital advertising. And they're basically saying, hey, half of what we run, we ran it, we did what you said, it was programmatically bought, it was run to the right person, nobody was actually there to see it, but you still got charged. So we all know this, right? We all struggle with ad avoidance. Now, we can debate all day long how much ad avoidance is. Is it 99%? Is it 84%? But what we can't debate is that we run ads every time everybody goes and sees it and does what we want them to do. In fact, when you look at a 1% click-through rate on Google and you say, hey, that's pretty good, and you should, that is pretty good, that means 99% had to be served and served and served and served and served before someone actually engaged. And here's why, right? People are in an all-out war against advertising. That's why they're cutting the cord. That's why 50% have ad blocking software loaded on their browsers, including many of us in this room currently. We don't want to see the ads. Or even when our ads do run, estimate, anyone who's run a Google ad before knows, hey, about 5 to 8% of it's a bot or a fraud. Now, they're pretty good about not charging us, but that gets really awkward to try to explain to our clients, hey, we didn't get charged, but still, you pushed all this money through the system, and it got pushed back at us. This is what we've heard for the past 2 or 3 days here about these really complicated problems. We're all really smart. We're really talented. We're doing right by our clients. There are some excellent D2C brands in here that are doing their best to figure this all out. And this is what we hear, right? How do we solve it? It's murky. It's gray. It's confusing. It's getting harder and harder. It's just really hard. This is the current state of affairs. Unbelievably oversimplified, but basically, right? You have an advertiser, whether you're the advertiser, whether you're a brand who's advertising on behalf of someone else, you're going to pay a bunch of third parties to try to hit your target, whatever that target may be. That's the system, and that's how it's worked for 100 years. This is what we're suggesting, which is, what if you were to get rid of all that and take the same money that is your money to go get that attention that you're trying to buy on 1,000 different systems, and what if you could buy attention directly? Not indirectly, not run an ad to try to hit someone, but actually pay an individual directly for their verified attention to a product or service. Reward them for their time, not reward necessarily a publisher for running an ad. And I'll give you a real life example. For me to stand on stage right now, this costs $20,000. I'm going to pay $20,000 for 20 minutes of your full, undivided, hopefully, attention. And for me, for the 100 odd so people in this room right now, for who you guys are, well worth it to me. $200 for 20 minutes, or each of you specifically, I'm happy to pay for your attention because we usually leave here with a few clients, and that's well worth it to us. So really, when you start going down the rabbit hole, wait, are we going to start paying for attention? Are you saying we're going to pay people to watch ads? Well, if you pay people to watch ads, you get this guy, right? Okay, I'll sit at home, I'll get an app or whatever, I'll sort of half pretend to click and do things, and they'll pay me a couple extra pennies when I do it. Yay. Right. That doesn't work that way, right? Because that's not valuable for either. It's not valuable for him, and it's really not valuable for the advertisers. That's a gain. So the real question for us about 2.5 years ago when I left my agency and raised some money to start AdWallet was, how do you effectively buy someone's attention without making it a gain? Stop making it a stupid, silly game. The real thing you start with is, what if an ad wasn't an interruption, but an invite? What if you actually looked forward to getting an ad today? Not only not blocking it, not only tolerating it, but actually hoping that an advertiser wants to talk to you today because it means that they want your full attention, they're willing to pay for your time and trouble, and at the end of actually listening to them, then you will decide, do I want whatever it is? Do I want a beard product? Do I want, do I want a new stroller or not? The fact that you were paid to actually listen doesn't change that. It just means you actually paid attention. So how do we do that? So we created AdWallet. AdWallet is a web-based system, but there's also apps for it. You download the app, and the first thing AdWallet does is say, who are you? If we're going to pay you for your attention, we need to know who you are. So we're going to ask you 200 key data points about yourself, demographic and psychographic, all the things everybody in this room has always wanted to know but have been too afraid to ask. Rather than collecting the metadata, this is first-party data, and this is their gift to us saying, hey, this is the data that you have to target me for advertising, and it's completely opt-in. So they take the survey. The next morning, they literally get a text that says, cha-ching, you have one new ad in your ad wallet. You have 3 days to watch it before it disappears. Okay? They have 3 days to watch it, which means they will decide when they have time to watch the ad, not us trying to guess when and where they'll be at any point of the day. When they click that link, this is what an ad wallet looks like inside. That's the ad that they have. And when they have time within that 3 days, they click on the ad and they watch the ad.
How can we say when you book direct at choicehotels.com, you always get the lowest price in our rooms, guaranteed?
Let's get someone to say it with a really low voice. Carl?
Lowest price guaranteed.
What about the world's lowest limbo stick?
How low can you go?
Nice one, Carl.
Hey, I've got an idea. Just say bada book, bada boom.
Bada book, bada boom.
Nice.
Always the lowest price, guaranteed. Book now at choicehotels.com.
All right, Choice Hotels is one of our partners. At the end of the ad, this is a key to AdWallet, we asked the member a question to prove that they actually paid attention to the ad. So it's not just about serving the ad and hoping we were right and it was allowed to run to the end and that should count. They actually have to answer the question correctly in order to move forward. So what happens when you book directly from Choice Hotels? You always get the lowest prices guaranteed. A low, low voice will echo from the heavens, bada book, bada boom, or you'll probably just get screwed, go to Expedia. If they answer correctly, they move forward. If they don't answer correctly, AdWallet just says, I'm sorry about the wrong answer. You got to watch the whole ad again. You got to watch the whole ad again, and we're going to ask the same question. You just wasted your time. And it's very interesting to see when people sign up for AdWallet, about 80% the first time when they watch the ad, they don't know there's going to be a question at the end. They don't pay attention, and they have to watch it again. And after that, 1% when they get their next on an AdWallet make the same mistake. We are so trained to not actually pay attention, to sort of watch passively, glance. I think I remember the joke, but I don't remember the brand, all that. Now, when you actually ask someone a question, it actually creates a synapse in their brain, just like in school. You think you're listening to the teacher because you're not passing a note and you're staring and you're blinking. But when the teacher says, hey, what did I just say? That's when something in your brain's like, wait, what did you just say? I'm thinking, I'm connecting that synapse. About 4 weeks ago, we gave this presentation in Montauk. There was a brand at Montauk who I actually called out. I pointed to one of these signs, these beautiful signs that are up, whenever a sponsor sponsors. And I don't know, was anybody here at Montauk? Does anybody remember that sign? Unruly. Unruly. Thank you, Sean. Yes, unruly. And to be really, not to single you out, to be really fair, not a plant. The last time I really spoke to Sean was about 4 weeks ago in Montauk. I called it out. You remembered unruly because I called it out and said, pay attention to this, just like if you answer a question. You'll never forget these questions. 3 weeks from now, you'll be able to answer this question. Whereas if you saw this ad once on TV, you'd be like, I don't know, it was for some hotel chain. I think it was kind of funny. I remember the joke, I think. At the end of that experience, if they got the question right, the user gets to rate the ad. Did they like it or not? All this information goes directly back to the advertiser, so you can instantly A/B test, is this cut better than that cut? Then it asks, are you interested in engaging this brand in the next 30, 60, 90 days, or never? Right? You bought their attention, but you didn't buy their sale. All right, I got your full attention. Do you actually want to, do you want to engage in a beard product? Now, the user gives us this information, and we, of course, give this back to you. This, of course, allows you to actually target down the funnel. Like, I don't want to talk to anybody who has no interest ever in talking about this brand to me again. Would you like to download an exclusive offer from Choice Hotels? This is where our user can download that offer. It lives in their ad wallet. It has a link. They can bring it in store. They can do it online, and we track, of course, that engagement as well. Would you like to share this ad on social media, Facebook or Twitter? Or not? Not good enough for you. When they share it on Facebook, that's actually what it is. We're not connected to Facebook's API. This is if you took a picture of that share and shared it on your personal Facebook page and told all your friends about it. Incidentally, about 39% so far will share it on social media, your ad. And that's a third-party endorsement. That's not some ad you bought on Facebook. That's your friends, so check us out. The member, if you allow them to, can also have the option to reveal their verified email to you, the advertiser, for an additional money. This is their verified email. This is the email that's connected to AdWallet. We've already checked it for you. And then you get a CSV file in real time that says, Adam@adwallet.com is interested in engaging in whatever, gravity blankets in the next 30 days. Go. Go get it. Go put it in your CRM system. Go reach around, whatever you want. This is them, their first-party data saying, for you, for this, yes, you can. They opt in each time, depending on the advertiser. You also have the option as an advertiser to say, would you like to take an 18-question research, up to an 18-question research survey about my brand for an extra $1 in your AdWallet right now? 98% will do this survey because it is the moment of moments to ask them to do this. You send them an opportunity to take a survey 5 minutes later in their email, forget it. But right now, I've got my phone out. I'm connected to a payment device. I just saw your ad. Let me ask you a couple more questions about it. And I'm going to pay you for your time. That's the offer I just downloaded for Choice Hotels. That lives in my AdWallet for as long as the advertiser, you guys, choose it to. And again, I can click that button and engage in it online, or I can literally bring it in a lot like a Groupon. At the end of that experience, if the user said they had any interest in your brand, anything but I don't care about your brand, they automatically get pivoted to your website, where, of course, we dump them at your door, and you can let your retargeting and the rest of advertising kind of take over to close that sale. But that is a full click, if you will. They started, they did everything they did, and they ended up on your website. The member, depending on what you asked them to do, earned anywhere from 50 cents to about $4, depending on the level of time that you brokered from them. Money actually falls down into their ad wallet. When they reach $10 or more, they can cash out directly in a variety of ways. This is cash. This is the cash that you would have spent on a media buy, but you just made against someone directly. So what happens when you reward your customer for their attention rather than rewarding a publisher for running an ad? And I'm not picking on publishers. You guys do a great job too. This is just what actually happens when you, for lack of a better term, cut out the middle. Well, what happens is what always happens when you cut out the middle. Your cost per engagement in our case, you get a lot more. You know, $1 to $150 a click is what you're going to get on those guys, and that depends on the industry you're in. On us, anywhere from $1 to $5, and you're going to get all that I just showed you. Because when you're paying someone directly for their attention, now they're part of the value exchange. Now they're ready to lean in. They're not trying to get rid of you. You didn't invite them the other way. This way, they're like, yay, someone wants to talk to me about what? To break apart kind of behind the onion what just happened, that was first-party data targeting. That is all first-party CCPA compliant. This is what you had, and you have the opportunity to talk to them directly. They watch that ad all the way through, or you're not charged. They're asked a question about it to prove actual comprehension of the ad, not just that it ran. We capture 100% intent for you. They have the ability to share the ad. They have the ability to reveal their verified email. They have the ability to take that survey. And then, of course, we have about a 92% click-through rate. What that is saying is that 92% of the people that you're targeting on AdWallet, about 8% will say, I have absolutely no interest in baby gates today. Never talk to me again. Fair enough. And you can if you want to keep talking to them and try to change their mind, but you know, okay, we don't need to waste time with you. I'm a creative director, so I not only wanted to make that part of the system seamless and easy, but I also wanted reporting to be seamless and easy. Because, guys, I don't know how many times I had fights with a media director in the different agencies I worked at. I was the creative, and I wanted it to be cool and fun and simple, and they were smarter than me and could read these media media buys, and I'd be turning them, and I didn't even know which way was up. And so I wanted to actually create a report, and when you're talking directly to a person, the reporting actually becomes a lot easier too, because now you actually have apples to apples. You know what happened. So in this case, and this is a super small example. This is literally this is a campaign that we ran for $2,500. $2,500 got 1,743 unique customers. Those are the people that actually saw the ad and went all the way through it, that were targeted off of their the demos and targets I gave you earlier. 10,000 actual engagements happened. 625 actually downloaded the offer. 1,114 clicked through to the website. 733 gave their email. And then as you can see below, that's who wants to engage in 30, 60, 90 days and never. Down below here, even further, we have a lot of agencies using AdWallet to test out creative instantly overnight to see, hey, is this cut better than that cut? And now we'll take that and we'll put it into a national media buy. We've been lucky. We have a lot of local, regional partners, and of course, national partners who are playing with AdWallet, testing AdWallet. And of course, everyone in this room, I invite you to test it. I'm going to give you a nice offer in a few minutes, too, to give it a shot. Usually the question I get about now is, so what I didn't mention is that I'm from New Mexico, and we've been testing AdWallet for the past 2 years in New Mexico only. So you had to be in New Mexico to even download AdWallet. We have 60,000 members in New Mexico that have an AdWallet that I'm not joking, every day wake up hoping to get that text that says, you have an ad in your AdWallet today. They're literally hoping for an ad today. They're hoping an advertiser matches up with their profile and would like to speak with them. We don't send them 1,000 ads a day, 1 ad a day. They choose when that text comes. They only get one. If they get an ad, that text comes at the same time, 7 o'clock at night, 7 in the morning, whatever's convenient for them. The idea behind this is, what if you could actually have someone's undivided, guaranteed, verified, actionable attention 2 minutes a day? The rest of the day, they're going to go on and do their business. But for 2 or 3 minutes a day, advertising, this is my moment to actually lean in and go, what's going on today that I should know about? What is out there that I should engage in that I didn't know about already? So as of today, actually as of yesterday, we started testing AdWallet over the country, and we're very excited about the results. So right now, if you go to adwallet.com and you're not standing in New Mexico, you can have an AdWallet too, and I encourage all of you to do that and download an AdWallet and play with it. Why I'm here today, outside of spending $20,000 for 20 minutes of your attention. This is how we plan to scale AdWallet now that we feel like we've actually figured out a way of having, frankly, a brand or an agency being able to have a direct conversation with who they want to actually talk to. We're creating a brand and agency syndicate all over the US. We plan to scale all over the US in 2020. Just for being here today, I'm offering everybody a $5,000 free test on AdWallet. That's just $5,000 we're going to give you. And no obligation, nothing. You basically have a $5,000 budget on AdWallet to play with it with your brand. And again, 60,000 people. It's a toy right now. But if you take me up on that offer and you use that money between now and the end of December, we'll give you a $50,000 matching buy next year. So if you decide, you know what, and these guys are scaling and we liked the results we saw, every dollar you put into AdWallet, I'll give you $1. I'll add $1 to it up to $50,000 next year. So obviously, full disclosure, we are not bootstrapped. I'm so impressed by you. We are venture backed. We got money. This is hey, we think we've got something here, and we obviously we want to scale AdWallet, and we want your help. We want to be able to say these are some of the national brands that are testing it, have played with it, like it. And if you could magically get them 20 or 30 million more eyeballs, they would actually use it on a scale basis, not just as a toy. So I didn't time myself, but hopefully I have a couple minutes left for questions if anybody has them, but thank you very much for your attention.
Adam, great as usual. A question.
Tran Cao from Textile Fashion Group. I have a question for you. Do you guys measure performance KPI, like purchase KPIs, or because the stuff that I've seen so far is just brand engagement and et cetera?
So we measure, basically when we dump them off at your website, we measure the engagement all the way to, what happened on the way, you collected their email, they went on your site. We also have a pixel that you can put on your site that we can then, once we're dumped on your site, we can track it all the way through to they buy some shoes from that AdWallet experience.
Dan Kidd Data Wallet, not AdWallet. But
Also a good wallet. We met yesterday, and they're doing something really exciting.
Yeah, we had a
too.
good talk. What I was thinking about is a lot of the brands here have very specific audience groups that they go after. Seeing you're in acquisition mode of AdWallet customers, is there a concept of building out a custom audience of 300,000 for my specific demo?
That's a good question. So, and the short answer is no. When I started AdWallet, I didn't know who would sign up, right? We were kind of interested to be, I don't know, would it be a bunch of broke college kids who care about watching an ad for, $1 or $2? Well, who will it be? And whoever it is, we'll lean into that target, and that'll be what an AdWallet audience can provide. What turned out was the exact opposite of what we all thought, which was really weird. It's completely inverted. The more money someone makes and the older they are, the more engaged they are in their AdWallet. The most engaged user we have right now, that target is 50 plus and makes over 100 grand a year. They love getting that ad, watching the ad. Remember, this is an ad that's relevant to them. This is alerting them to something that's kind of interesting about the world that they didn't know about because they're so busy not paying attention. Our least engaged is a 13-year-old who makes no money. I thought it would be reverse. Right? I thought, it's all about the money and we'll make a nickel. You don't make that much money on AdWallet. You realize very quickly, the money's nice. It's frankly your money. It's the money we've all been paying to get your attention. But it's actually, I didn't know about that new company. I didn't know I could buy dog food fresh and be delivered. I didn't know that, and now I do. So the short answer is right now, actually our goal is a broad audience because when you, the advertiser, go on to AdWallet, you're able to go, I only want 43-year-old women who have 2 kids and a dog and live in these 12 zip codes in this 4 states. And then AdWallet says, all right, of the whole universe, This is exactly how many people those are, and that's who gets the ad tomorrow, no one else. So the system itself basically, creates that own universe. I'd love to, excuse me, at the scale, to be able to go, all right, here, I hope to have, here's 300,000, people who are the exact fit for you. But for us, it's just get as many people with an ad wallet who are 13 and over.
Anyone else?
How do we get signed up? What do we got to do?
So, like I said, it just opened up nationally. If you have an Android phone, you can use the app. If you have an Apple phone, we're very close to having that Apple app allow you to sign up outside of New Mexico, but not quite. So if you just go to adwallet.com and hit sign up, it'll literally walk you through the process. Oh, to advertise? They actually are lovely when you give them $20,000 to do this. I get everyone's email at the end, and I will politely reach out to you and say, hey, would you like to use that $5,000 credit for AdWallet? And then we'll go from there. It takes about 20 to 30 minutes to onboard from zero a new client, and then you're ready to rock and good to go. Yeah.
Are you guys able to share how many users you have?
Yes. So like I said, we've been.
Repeat the question. I'm sorry.
She asked how many users do we currently have. So we've been beta testing AdWallet only in New Mexico. So we only have 60,000 members right now in New Mexico. But our goal is in 2020 to have 2 to 4 million as we scale. So the $5,000 is really for a free test against a super small audience, but it's more for you to get the understanding of how it works, what are the KPIs you got back, so then when we come back with you in 2020, you understand the system and you can really lean in.
When we sign up, it sounds like we just need an inventory of, 3 to 5 45-second videos?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. So you only need one. What you're actually buying as an advertiser is you get up to 45 seconds of space, right, of video. It can be 15, it can be 3 15s in a row. There's no content, right? This is an ad by private invite. We are, in 2020, opening it up to 2.5 minutes, because what we found is, and even a lot of the conversations I've heard in the last few days is, hey, we're tired of having to slam this into 6 seconds or figure out how to explain something really valuable into 15 or 30. We've actually found that our users will pay attention up to 2.5 minutes before they're basically like, I don't care what you're paying me, I got 2.5 minutes. But at 2.5 minutes, you can really tell a real powerful brand story, actually communicate something, and then have them connect directly with you at the end. So.
Okay. Adam has been doing this presentation with us for about 1.5 years now, and he always leaves with a bundle of customers. So I highly recommend you talk to him after this presentation. Are you going to be here for the rest of the day?
Yeah.
Yep.
Thanks,
okay.
guys. I really
All right.
appreciate
Big round
it.
of applause for Adam. Thanks, man. Well, Steve Smith, what do you want to do here? So you want to take a break? You want to go? Huh? Take 5. Okay, we're going to take 5.